why do women add extra weight when they are pregnant? And how easy is it to shed off that extra weight? So let me start by saying that when a woman is pregnant, obviously they have an extra human being living inside them. In some cases, even more than one. So let's just assume there is one human being. Then that one extra human being, when he's almost delivered, adds approximately 3 kg, give or take, to the woman. If we assume that that human being is a tenant because he does not belong there and eventually has to come out, then he has to have real estate. So that means that he has to have somewhere where he stays. And utilities, those are the things that supply him with nourishment so that he's comfortable there. And that brings in the uterus, the placenta, the umbilical cord, and the amniotic fluid, whereby the uterus will add approximately an extra 1 to 1.5 kg. The placenta together with the umbilical cord will also add an extra 1 to 1.5 kg. And the amniotic fluid will add approximately around 2 to 2.5 kg. Now, this tenant is on a lease. And when the lease time lapses, he has to move out, whether he likes it or not. So you have to evict him. So you need to have energy that you have stored in your system to help you evict him, because he does not want to come out, and yet he has to. So your body accumulates fat storage, and that fat storage is the one which is going to provide you with energy for labor. And this fat storage also is going to provide you with energy to feed the baby. As you know, you'll be producing milk after you have delivered the baby. This milk will require a lot of fat. You will need to have extra fat stored in your system so that it can be used as an ingredient to make this milk. So that extra fat that is stored is around 4 to 5 kgs. And finally, there are hormones in pregnancy called cortisol, aldosterone, progesterone, and estrogen. And these hormones will lead to what we call sodium and fluid retention. So meaning your tissues will retain more fluid, so it will become like a sponge. And what about blood? Now, we have talked about so many extra things that happen in your body when you're pregnant. So it means that your body is becoming big and is hosting a lot of extra things. So all these extra things will require blood. So your body has to have more blood within its vascular system to nourish all these extra things. So you also have increase in blood. So when you combine fluid retention plus increase in blood volume, then you have an extra 4 to 5 liters of blood in your system, and that adds an extra 4 to 5 kgs of weight in your body. So all these factors combined will make you add an extra 15 to 20 kgs. So after all this has happened, then how easy is it to lose this weight? So there is the weight that you will lose immediately, and that is the baby, the amniotic fluid, the placenta, and the cord. So that's approximately 5 kgs that you will shed immediately. And then there is the weight that will take around 6 weeks to shed. There is this post-pregnancy period for 6 weeks called puerperium. So there is the weight that you will shed during that period. That is when your pregnancy hormones are resetting to normal, and also your uterus is undergoing a process called involution. So reverting back from its pregnancy state of around 1 kg to its non-pregnancy state of below 100 grams. And during this puerperial period, you will lose all the kgs that are associated with the big uterus and the fluid accumulation. And then finally, there is the kgs that are brought about by fat accumulation, and those ones are the most difficult to lose, and those ones will take up to 1 year to lose, and it will depend on how much you diet and how much you exercise. So if you want to lose that quickly, then you must diet and exercise. And because most women don't follow through with the rigorous dieting and exercise, then they continue to retain that weight, even probably indefinitely. So meaning they will never go to their pre-pregnancy kilos. Now you know about why you put on a lot of weight during pregnancy, and sometimes it's very difficult to shed off that weight. Thank you.